So, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, today is Friday, the 20th of March. We're all gathering at this time to do this morning chanting to show our respect to the Buddha and homage. Also, appreciation for his kindness and compassion towards all the sentient beings. So today we have good sunshine, but a bit cold and frosty. All the ground is white and freezing cold. So the weather is just below 10, a bit cold, but beautiful. And today also Tanekachai, Prasid and Nelly going back to London after 10 days visit and helped constructing the halls where we will enshrine the marker stones. And this was the hard work and a bit of a planning. But having Tanek and knows what needs to be done, it's quite much easier. So within a week time, we managed to complete. And Tan Prasid came to visit but worked hard instead every day. And Gavin also helping so much that yesterday he slept all the way through, maybe 16, 17 hours. Must be really tired. That's why he missed the last night class. So with the help of all the members, we managed to do something that's really important for the ceremony on the 17th of May. Meantime, we can't forget that Nelly, although she doesn't come to the chantings and the meditation, she's been looking after us very well, preparing food and taking care of other things. So very kind of her that she came up to support. Otherwise, it would have been very different and very difficult. So with the collaboration of all of us in whatever ways that we could, we managed to complete the task that we aimed at. I really appreciate for you all the support and dedication. And that's another reason why the Buddha also said that the Suposita hall is not done by a single person. it should be done by anonymously doing together in union from all the directions. And it also the illustration of the work that we do together. No one is special, but everyone is special. For the task that we have taken. And I myself also feel so exhausted. But having the duty, I cannot feel tired. So I have to fulfill the duty. When you look at the duty, if everybody does their duty, then the whole nature, whole society, whole world will be calmer and there won't be any conflicts. We have our duty depending on which status you are in. Each individual doesn't mean that only one duty. We all have a different duties. If you are a father or a mother, you have a duty of being a father and a mother. If you are a teacher, then you have a duty of being a teacher. If you are a children, a child, then you have a duty of being a children. Being a student, you have a duty of being a student. Employee, employers, friends, we all have a different duties that we have to fulfill in one day or in one life. If we fulfill those duties correctly, then there won't be any trouble. Society will be harmonious. So being socially engaged, we have our duty, but in the same time, our body has its own duty too. Duty to look after ourselves, this body. Duty to look after its cells, maintaining it. When we able to see that, then we see that this body, it has its own duty without our involvement. So does like the trees, grass and grounds and buildings. These also has got their own duties to look after. A duty to be maintained intact. And within that duty again, there is the another duty, and that duty is the duty of a nature. And a nature takes cares on its own way. So nature has got the duty to take care of the entire nature, the environment. Which is the reason why if we leave something untouched for some time, so then nature will take care of itself. So in 2018, we had an interfaith mindful day and had a tree planting. All the different interfaith representatives gathered and planted a tree here. And at that time, one of our close members bought a beautiful and very expensive shovel. And this shovel, I remember that I took it to plant the tree. But somehow this shovel was forgotten in the midst of tens of, maybe 10 or 15 of the shovels that everybody brought to plant the tree. And this shovel was in the woodland, left in the woodland. So I have been looking for that shovel and then searching for it. In the meantime, I did walk around to find anything left in the woodland, but I couldn't find on that day or the day following. Meantime, I could not find that shovel in the storage, and I asked people around, those who attended, that whether they have taken it, and no one says yes. And I thought that probably somebody who came to the temple have taken to home and used it. So after a couple of months, I just take off the thought of searching, and I have almost forgotten that. But somehow, last year, while I was walking around in the woodland, through the trees, and I happened to bump with this old forgotten shovel, and I was so amazed. So like that. So nature will take care. Similarly, if you walk around, there were trees fall down. Initially, I was a bit worried. What should I do with these tree branches? So, a couple of piles, I left it for the insects. And one of the neighbors said that, why don't you build an insect hotel? So, bottom of the field, I built insect hotel with those woods. And yesterday I went down and I found that's quite a nice place to be. That's quite a nice thing. Similarly, in a different area in the woodlands, I have piled up those woods and slowly rotten away. So take care of it. Nature takes care of itself. It does its duty. And this nature takes care of the buildings. If nobody lives within a year, it just collapses. Same with our body. If we do not look after properly, it just decays quicker than normal. And if it decays, then it just rots. That's why in the Satipatthana Sutta, the mindfulness of the 4 foundations of mindfulness explains the 9 different stages how our body rots and merge into the earth. So this is one of the contemplations that we have to practice, simply to overcome from this attachment to the body. So this is how nature does its duty, and the duty itself has a nature, its own as well. And that nature is something that the duty of the nature of a duty itself is that not static, always changing. So this change is something that a natural thing. That's why in in Thai language it says there's only one thing that's unchanged is the nature of change. So that is the phenomenon, the duty, the nature of the duty, that it has its own way of changing. And that change is the key, that everything has its own duty to take care of. When we are aware of that, then we have understood the real Dhamma. So that's the entire Buddha's teachings, is to fulfill our duty and understand the duties of entire phenomenons. Then we will not be holding on to anything but just fulfill the duty. So the practice of the Dhamma, in fact, is fulfilling our duty properly. So, thank you very much everyone for the help and the support. And we hope that we understand the duty and fulfilling the duty properly. So with this, we will do a short chanting and finish, because we have to get ready to drop our guests to airport.